From my perspective, the American troop levels on the continent are important. What happens 5 or 10 or 15 years from now is part of a larger discussion that reflects the threat level, America's posture, our needs around the globe, but most significantly, the capability of European countries to step up. And that's why our message is so stark to our European allies. Now is the time to invest, because you can't make an assumption that America's presence will last forever.
But do you believe that there is a possibility to restore the border as
it is a privilege to be here. And I do want to emphasize that it's quite intentional that our first European bilateral is right here in Poland. The symbolism is not lost. In fact, it is intentional. We see Poland as the model ally on the continent, willing to invest not just in their defense, but in our shared defense and in the defense of the continent.
Jan Piotrowski, TVN24.
Hegseth, sir.
So my job today and in Brussels was to introduce realism to the conversation. The reality that returning to 2014 as borders as part of a negotiated settlement is unlikely. The reality of U.S. troops in Ukraine is unlikely. The reality of Ukraine membership in NATO as a part of a negotiated settlement, unlikely. And I stand by the comments that I made on that first day in the Ukraine contact group.
Recently, you've ruled out the possibility of restoring Ukrainian...
I'm not here to put a left and right limit on those discussions. We've been here just simply to introduce realism into the expectations of our NATO allies to incentivize the opportunity for that negotiation. So what those borders ultimately look like, sir, remains to be seen. And I think is part of the discussion that would be had between our president, Zelensky, Putin, and likely Europe's involvement in those discussions as well.
An invasion back in February 2022. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, sir. If NATO's response to this situation is to truly increase capabilities, truly increase inputs and spending, to think more like Poland, to think more like the Baltics, who are closer to the threat and recognize the reality of the threat, then I don't think Vladimir Putin will be emboldened by this outcome. It'll be a recognition that the collective ability of the West to deter him was something that actually happened. Is there trust there? No. I mean, you don't have to operate under a position of trust in order to negotiate a deal. But again, I'm the Secretary of Defense. It's not my job to read the mind of Vladimir Putin. President Trump will be the one at the table with Zelensky and Putin. You don't have to trust somebody in order to negotiate with them. But as Ronald Reagan said, if you don't trust, you need to verify. And so there will be a follow-up in ensuring that whatever peace is negotiated is a lasting and enduring peace. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, I'm good now.
You're good, guys? Okay, thank you very much.